MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell says that Donald Trump actually ended up winning the 2020 presidential election by 19 million votes. By 19 million votes. And, get this, he can prove it. Of course, and unfortunately, folks, he's not going to prove it today. He's not going to prove it tomorrow. He's got to wait for some undisclosed reason to only give this information he has to the United States Supreme Court. Recently, after one of his little Frank rallies, Rolling Stone reporter Stephen Roderick actually caught up with Lindell, and Lindell gave him an interview. And here's what Lindell said. His words are so insane, I have to read them word for word. Everybody brought me everything. I was the last hub in the wheel, the last voice for America. All I did was put in millions of dollars to validate it. I've said it before. If I knew this had happened in reverse and Trump got put in, I'd still be sounding the alarm. Roderick then continues. Lindell explains that it was the Chinese Communist Party that was behind the hacks, but it is never explicitly explained how in any of his videos. His latest is Absolute 9-0, a reference to the fact that he believes the Supreme Court will unanimously reinstate Trump as president after they see his not disclosed information. Lindell continues. There was 147 million were registered to vote. Okay, Biden got 80 million and Trump got 75 million. That's 10 million extra votes. With Roderick noting, in fact, over 213 million Americans were registered to vote. Lindell was off by just a bit, aka 66 million. He then mentions that 1.7 million Pennsylvanians requested mail-in ballots, while the election count shows hundreds of thousands more, proving more fraud. In reality, Pennsylvanians requested over 3 million mail-in ballots. Lindell continues. Trump won 80 million to 68 million. 6 months from now, Trump will be our real president, and our country will be heading toward its greatest rebirth in history, Mike Lindell says. And I love the fact that the Rolling Stone reporter, in his article, is just actually, no, those aren't even the real numbers. Your math is already off, therefore all of your conclusions are wrong. That's how math works, by the way, folks. If you get one of the integers wrong in the equation itself, then the solution to the equation, your final outcome, is going to be wrong. And Mike, these are not numbers that are only available to reporters at Rolling Stone. These are readily available numbers. You can find them on the internet. You could find them in state databases. If you even called state secretaries of state and found out how many people requested the ballot, you could find that out. Whew. But if you did that, it would disprove your entire conspiracy theory, and then you wouldn't be able to say that Donald Trump won the election by 19 million votes. For the record, there is no case pending before the U.S. Supreme Court. I don't know why Lindell keeps saying the Supreme Court's going to do. There's no case. There's literally not a case filed on this, folks. The only court cases that Mike Lindell needs to be worried about are the multi-billion-dollar defamation suits that he's facing for pushing crap like this. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for fresh content every single day of the week. Just smash that subscribe button, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, and share the video.